Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. Back on live.
We are back on. Exactly. Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever anybody is joining us from.
Yes. Listen,
it's nice to see you.
We were traveling. You were traveling last week. I was traveling last week. Two very different places.
Yes. Why don't you tell me about your exotic locale?
My exotic locale. And listen, Indianapolis. So one-time visit for me, I'll say.
Okay.
Everyone was very nice, but
of course.
I appreciate my city of Miami even more after coming back.
Oh, how so?
Vibrant, energy, different people from different places. Like there's just a lot more different countries and culture, and
very international.
Yes, very international city. And so Indianapolis, I only get to check out the downtown areas and get to zip around on a little scooter on the corridors out there, but it's one of those cities that, it's good. I saw it. It's very nice. But I'll say this. High tech was awesome. A lot of good people out there. Great to see so many familiar faces. And can I tell you something?
Tell me.
A lot of people watch our show and they came up and said, "Where is Sarah? Is she here?" And I was like,
stop.
I promise. I said, Sarah is, cruising around Croatia and taking in the sights and scenes over there. But it was fun to see so many people watch our show, know who we are, love what we're doing, and we're fans and took pictures, and just great to see that.
Yeah, you took pictures. Okay, this is what we have to do. We have to at least make a point to go to one of these conferences together, because it's either myself or it's either you. It's a tease, so we'll make that happen.
It was funny, and I got to see the other podcasters out there. Got to see the Modern Hotelier crew that was out there. They were very nice.
Fun. Yeah,
I saw Glenn Houseman was there, but I didn't see him. See him, but we hung out, Steve and David.
He's normally running around interviewing people.
Yep. Top Floor podcast was out there, so she was very nice. Cool. A lot of cool things. So, next time we'll have to set up something of our own out there. We'll talk after this. It was great.
Perfect.
Steven Sinclair. I did. I came by the booth and hung out.
I love that.
So there he is.
Cool. Oh, well, I have to say, by the way, if you guys want to see us at one of the next shows, let us know. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of them coming up.
Yeah,
we can talk after. I think it was
always a lot. That's crazy. Well, while you were having so much fun in Indianapolis at High Tech, I was actually in Croatia. So I was working with the tourism board there, doing what I do. As those may or may not know, I do a lot of different things. And and it was fantastic. It was my first time there. Wonderful. It was technically the Dubrovnik Riviera region. So we did a visit to Dubrovnik, but then also like all the little islands around. And it was just so wonderful. And I have to say, I have a lot of clients that travel to Europe for the summer. I know a lot of people that do it. And sometimes I'm a little bit like, oh, yeah, Europe for the summer again. And I kind of like roll my eyes at it. But being over there, oh man, it is a thing. It is definitely, it is
awesome.
It's worth the hype. It is definitely worth the hype. And I have to say, Croatia is, it's a place to visit. So if you've kind of done all the classics, if you've done London, Paris, Rome, the south of France, first of all, good on you. But secondly, Croatia's fantastic. Add it to your list if you haven't been. So very, very cool.
From the photos you've been posting, that looked like the most beautiful place, like something out of a storybook. It looked awesome.
Very much so. Very, very much so. Lots of fresh seafood, great wine there. So, I
found out you love oysters, right? From the story you posted. Is that what happened?
Uh-huh.
I wish you got to repost it. So all the listeners, I want her to repost it so you can watch her eat her first oyster out there. And it was like,
yep. Pretty much like that.
So
you just swallow.
Paul Manzi. Sarah should have been there on the receiving end of a touchdown pass and Lucas Oil. So what Paul's referring to is I threw a pass on Lucas Oil Field.
Oh, I saw.
My client Sean Tarter from Real Time Reservation. Did you see the form of the throw? Like, I professional athlete. There's an athlete.
I saw the form, but I would also, first of all, congratulations. That was excellent form. But I will also say this. Paul saying that I should have been on the receiving end. Paul, I think you're highly underestimating my throwing skills. Okay.
You throw like a girl.
What? You get a nice little spin. Ooh. Well, yeah. Come on. I know a little thing or two. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah.
Next one. We'll make sure we do. But
great.
The pictures. We had a good trip. A lot of fun things going on in our world.
A lot of fun things.
I just want to give one more thing before we get into our news, because it's big. I talked about Buyer 2 weeks ago where I announced it.
Yes.
We're almost fully funded, which is amazing. We've raised millions of dollars, and now we're almost closed. So if anybody wants to invest, let me know. You send me a message. We have room for like 2 more people. So that's exciting. We already started cleanup on the site, which was awesome to be there in person and see like this idea of 2.5 years in the works now actually taking shape. So follow along on Instagram and LinkedIn if you haven't followed myself and Sarah, but I'll be sharing a lot more about that journey of building.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Ooh, good morning from Calgary. All right. Love that. Paul, I see you laughing at look, all right. I'm a former tomboy. I can hold my own.
I believe it.
Anyway, why don't we get to some topics here, right? We got a lot going on.
A lot of stuff happening today.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, interesting time indeed. And I know that you've got something to say about this, but Hyatt is laying off guest service employees. Hyatt's confirmed that it will eliminate some guest-facing positions at select U.S. properties. The company is evolving, cited that evolving guest preferences and technology are the drivers. So they've got things like digital check-in, automated concierge tools are replacing traditional roles. But yeah, so I feel like you were getting hyped up about this behind the scenes.
I was getting fired up because they use the keywords of really hiding what it is. They're saving costs because there's costs that go up in other things like supplies and tools and food and all the things that go to take and run a hotel. So this is what I saw at High Tech. There is a lot of AI tools coming out. I've tested out a lot of them. Some were okay. Some were very good. Right. And so what I see happening, and I'm going to look into the camera here because I want you all to listen to me as if I was talking to my own team. Ooh. If you're putting in data entry, if you're analyzing things, if you're ordering things, if that is your job and you do that 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, start learning something new. Start pushing into the places where you're creating, where you're coming up with the ideas, because those positions are going to get eliminated soon. I will promise you it's happening. And this article shows you this is their call centers. And those call centers are getting eliminated because a lot of those things that the call centers used to do was like answer reviews, answer calls, answer general questions. And now they have tools that can do this. And it sounds like you're talking to a human, right? Mm-hmm. And you have things that now they have GPTs that will answer people's texts. And now there's tools that will look at your hotel's reviews, okay, and personally write it as if it was the hotel manager writing it, which that was someone's full-time job before. And mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you is if you have something that just requires data entry, analyzing, typing to people, answering messages, a lot of those jobs are going to go away. And then the mid-level manager or the director is going to have those tools and have to learn how to use all of them because they're going to be in charge of those tools and making sure that they're working on the fly. So that's my message for all of you out there. It's happening, not only in our industry, in a lot of industries. And I saw it. Almost every other booth had some kind of AI option to make things faster and smoother.
This is true. Well, first of all, Lou, thanks so much for saying that automated concierge is a contradictory term and that you want to talk to a live concierge. I definitely get that. What I will add to this is it's interesting because obviously this technology is out there, but what's making it move at a faster pace as far as adoption and integration is the fact that, as Steve mentioned, higher cost of things. But can we also address the giant elephant in the room, which is we have less travelers coming from overseas. So a big part of our tourism pie has been deeply impacted because a lot of people from other countries are simply not coming to the U.S. And then because of rising costs, we also have people within the United States are also feeling the pinch financially. And so they're making different decisions when it comes to their travel plans. So yes, there are still some individuals that are traveling around, but there are a lot of people that they are just feeling the weight of things right now. And so they are being far more conservative in their travel spend, which is ultimately impacting revenue and profitability on all of these properties. And so that's why they're like, hey, we have to make significant changes. I will actually say this. What I am curious to see what might happen over time is this more in the short term, a dramatic move where it's like they're letting go of a lot of people, because we saw this happening in Vegas. Obviously, Hyatt's jumping in on this. Is it going to be a dramatic move? And then at some point, it's all a pendulum swing. At some point, volume will pick back up. Will there then be a hiring craze, so to speak, because we'll realize, well, we can't rely solely on AI. So, I mean, I think that we're going to have a little bit like a lot of people being let go. And then at some point we're going to need more people till we find that sweet spot. That's that good amount of real live employees and AI and technology doing the work. What do you think of that?
I think that there is a lot of different layers here, and you're right. Paul just kind of mentioned the stat, 8% drop in international travel year to date. It's a good point. I was just talking to a big hotel after, we're not a politics show, but after the headlines of what was going on in Iran, they lost, several $100,000 in reservations because groups canceled. They were worried about, all right, there might be a potential slowdown in the stock market and our prices and those things. So there's a lot going into this, but I can tell you, I see Lou's message, I don't want to talk to an automated concierge. If you picked up the phone and did the example that I did, I didn't know I was talking to someone that wasn't real. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, I think this in-person is going to continue to be really important. I planned a post on LinkedIn about doing these dinners that I want to get people around. And that blew up because people are seeking connection. They want to be with people. They want to meet in person. Sarah and I do this every week, but it's so much better when we're in person, right?
Totally.
So, especially for you all that watch. I would love to do some live shows as well as we go to these places, because we get to connect and meet people and do those things. But for work, and as I'm a business owner, I see it happening. There's things that I would have hired for a year ago that I'm like, we don't need to hire for that anymore. And so it's getting interesting to see how this will happen. And I'm a small company. You're seeing these $1 billion companies like a Hyatt and a Marriott and a Hilton, what they're going to be doing. But they're going to tell you, don't worry, we're going to find it. We're just going to be using these tools to make your life easier. But now it's starting. You see the layoffs come. It will happen.
And by the way, I feel like that 8% drop in international travel is conservative. And and that might be, and obviously it could be the average, but I feel like that's very conservative. I've seen figures for Los Angeles, for example, and they are down as low as 40%, which is huge. So it's real challenges out there, real challenges. Yeah. So, okay, we'll continue on to this ties into our next topic, but hotel profitability is really in this vulnerable spot. Go figure. Obviously, hotel operators are seeing a weaker growth in RevPAR and occupancy, rising costs. Steve talked about that, especially for labor and insurance. By the way, even labor in Los Angeles, they just passed something that minimum wage for hotels is going to go up to $30 an hour. That's wild to me, because those same roles that will be getting paid $30 an hour, and that'll happen over the next 2 years, we're making $15 an hour or $14 an hour, maybe in 2020. That's a huge change.
That's $62,000, 400 salary, right?
Yeah.
A pretty big salary just for an entry-level position to run a hotel.
Totally. So, again, it's we are seeing this tighter time, and its pressure is, the pressure is kind of highest at these upscale and luxury segments. So interesting times indeed.
Yeah, because those upscale and luxury segments, what do they have? Mm-hmm. A lot more people, a lot more layers, a lot more things in the rooms that cost, right? Just think about a luxury room, just to have it cleaned with supplied. A lot of these rooms cost $150, $200 just to have everything that's in that room that is disposable, like the slippers and all the lotions and all the things they give away and all the amenities that are in there. So once those things all start creeping up, it's amazing to think, if you actually look at a hotel room, if you're in a hotel room today and you're in a luxury hotel, look around that room, all of those things, all the prices have gone up on every single one of those products. And so where do you start cutting? right?
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I've worked in hotels that had 2 seasons where the toilet paper changed, right? During high season, it's one style of toilet paper. And then in low season, it's another style because the rates are not there.
Wow.
And so those
Wow.
it's interesting to see like where people cut and where they do things.
That's a great example, by the way.
It's not even a joke.
Of course. Well,
this is a luxury, ultra luxury hotel.
Yeah.
So, but insurance keeps going up. Insurance costs, flood costs, electricity, power, everything is going up for an operator. And we see it just in our hospitality management company. And now that we're building something, we're seeing it even more in all the tools and supplies and labor and things that would have been a lot less.
Adds up quickly. So, So, and again, this is kind of falling on the heels. I mean, we've had a lot of different headlines about this over the past couple of weeks, kind of going into our next topic here, Resorts World. And I was actually just at Resorts World Las Vegas. So I love that we're kind of tying this in. And so, we heard a couple of weeks ago that in Las Vegas, they did actually let go of a lot of individuals, and it is quiet there, I have to say. But Resorts World, Las Vegas is integrating Apple Wallet to their room keys. So this is kind of cool that guests are going to now be able to access their rooms via Apple Wallet without downloading a hotel app because nobody wants to download another app. But this is very cool. This rollout's kind of marking the first in the Vegas market, and was definitely going to see a new sort of like convenience benchmark, I think.
Yeah. I love this tool. I mean, the first time I ever experienced something like that was at Disney, and it was like I was at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I thought it was the most amazing thing. I didn't have to go to a front desk.
Yeah.
I didn't have to check in anywhere. They just had to text me, hey, your room is ready, and here's your room number. Put your phone to the door.
Yeah.
And I walked in. I was like, man, like this is a whole new world here. And
again,
all the things that we talked about, I think our first 3 topics, if we look back, laying off people, profitability, and now new technology that doesn't make you go to front desk. Things are starting to change. Things are getting more efficient. So it's interesting to see how all of this starts tying together, all the different headlines at all different resorts and brands in different areas of the country.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's see where this all goes. But all I know is that it makes it more convenient for guests. I'll say it. I liked it. I don't know about you. Do you like being able just to check in without having to go to a front desk?
I do. I do. And I will say, even in general, like the Hilton app with the mobile key and the mobile check-in, I've found that particular product to be the best on the market. I mean, I've tried Marriott. Sometimes it doesn't always work for me, but definitely the Hilton one does. And I like it. So especially if I'm traveling for work and or if there's a long line, there've definitely been times I walk in, I see the front desk. I'm like, oh, that's a long line. Let me just do this like mobile check-in. And then up I go.
Unless you need something, right?
Yeah.
Then you can call or do and talk to the AI automated back of house that'll send you the pillow that they need.
Totally. I mean, I was in Phoenix, however many weeks ago, and my whole time there, I never interacted with the front desk at all. It was crazy. Granted, it was like a 2-night stay, but like, that's
you did right, and normally you would. So that that 8-hour person, hey, sorry, John, we don't need that anymore.
Totally.
But what I would tell you too is like what I would like to see. Here's what I would like to see. Yes, we're cutting back on certain things, but I think you could add back. So, all right, I didn't need to check in, but I think it's at the higher level places. Like, all right, I use this like at Resorts World, I check in, but maybe there's something when I check in that says, hey, come back for a welcome beverage or a snack somewhere, just so we greet you nicely. Because I think part of it is like getting that hospitality greeting where you're not fully checked out. Like, have something where I come back somewhere and get greeted to the resort or the hotel or whatever it might be.
Well, what I like, we can almost do a play on that, because at the end of the day, why are we using these like mobile check-ins? We don't want to wait, and nobody wants to wait in line. And so is there a different way that you could maybe restructure the lobby and the front desk area? So obviously you have the traditional front desk, but maybe you might have more people that are literally standing in the lobby and they're interacting with guests that way. I mean, shout out to Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. I mean, I had the security guard, like my mom and I walked in like wide-eyed, like, where'd we go? And they approached us, gave us like a little spiel. We didn't have to wait to talk to anybody. It was great. So maybe it's less people that are just standing at desk, like at attention, but you've got some that are there as your anchors. And then maybe you have more floating front desk people that are kind of still welcoming, but then they can have a different way of interacting with people. Now, obviously, if it gets busy and you've got a line, maybe you send them back to the desk area to help go through everybody. But on slower times, I think that could actually be kind of interesting to do.
Yeah, like I'm gonna give a shout out because they just opened up the Hyatt Andaz here in Miami Beach. They have like pods set up, and but then they have a bar that's right there, so it's almost like you're checking in at a bar kind of vibe.
Fun. It's
really cool, like very different, and you see the ocean. Like it's a nice vibe versus
nice setup.
So, yeah, I agree with you. I think that's going to be the key now. It's like you're not going to need these giant front desks that you have right now with people standing in front of a computer waiting for you. Like next, right?
Yeah. Totally. Totally. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Well, so despite all of this,
now our next headline.
Our headline. So moving into 4th of July travel, it's so funny because I feel like every time we have a big holiday coming up, they're like, oh, record-breaking.
More and more people born, right? Maybe.
I know, totally. So they're saying over 72 million Americans are projected to travel over the 4th of July weekend. Air travel will set records with more than 5 million expected to fly. Road trips are remaining strong despite rising fuel. I mean, again, people are just finding different ways to get out there. But yeah, and TSA, we're going to have a talk about TSA. First of all, so I flew United, which we'll talk about later, and I flew through Newark. The TSA lines that I saw there were utter insanity to me. Utter insanity. So, I mean, obviously Newark Airport has been in the news for a lot of different things. They are struggling with some of their staffing, but yeah, they definitely, TSA has to ramp up because there's a lot of people traveling and families and strollers and wheelchairs and stuff like that just take time. So it's going to be a busy weekend. Are you going anywhere?
I will be traveling that week, but not that weekend.
Oh,
I will be going to visit my friend Ben Wolf at his Onera resort and staying in one of his tree houses.
Okay, where, in Texas?
In Texas. And either Wimberley, I think is where I'm going to be staying. So I fly into Austin and then go over to one of them. Or Fredericksburg. They have 2 resorts. So if you haven't checked it out, check out Onera. Beautiful hotel that he's created. The landscape resorts that he's building and my new partner. So
enjoy that Texas heat in the summer.
Well, I'm used to that Miami heat, which is jungle. I have an ocean breeze though today. So
yeah, you do.
But I like seeing people traveling. July 4th is just a great, I love the Americana vibes and everyone's celebrating fireworks. Always a good time. So travel safe. Don't party too hard on July 4th, people, but have a great time.
Yeah, I love it. All right. So with all of this travel talk.
Ooh, I think this is about you, this next one.
Whoa. Yeah. Everybody's traveling to Antarctica because of me. Kidding. So Antarctica, in case you guys hadn't noticed, Antarctica's TikTok tourism boom raises climate red flags. So if you've noticed over the past couple of years, this is kind of what happened, just in case you didn't realize. So there's a lot of cruise companies that go to Antarctica. During the pandemic, obviously, cruises had a lot of empty cabins. So what did they do? They're like, hey, we've got the space. They invited a bunch of travel influencers. So where before it was a hot ticket item and it was really hard as a travel influencer to get on a trip to Antarctica, a bunch of influencers have been able to go, which, by the way, fantastic. I was able to go, bring my mom. But because of that, there's so much content out there, and it's now drawing younger travelers to Antarctica. But because of this, the demand for going to Antarctica is also higher because people are like, climate change, things are changing. If you want to see Antarctica, see it now. And it's an interesting time. Oh, you just booked Antarctica for January 2027 with Viking?
Did Sarah influence you, Lou? I feel like she might have.
Yes. You better say yes. So yeah. So I mean, as a result, it's interesting. Operators are definitely going to be implementing stricter sustainability guidelines, but it's highlighting kind of the dynamic between social media and the popularity of destinations, be it Antarctica or even other places in the world.
National parks, like national parks are very busy. Like anything nature driven, like we were talking offline. Like I'm finding myself more and more attracted to be in the outdoors and be in nature.
Sure.
And I feel like now with all the screens we're on all day and our phones and all the things that we get sucked into, when you put it down, you feel recharged out there, right? And I think like going on adventures too is part of it. Like people want to go on adventures and have great stories in their life and be able to say like, man, my life was awesome and I went to all these places. Like you're going to have that, Sarah. I'm going to catch up now. I'm going to start traveling a lot more now that my kids are a little bit older.
Woo!
It's on my goal list. You've influenced me because I want to see cool places.
I love it. We'll have to make something happen that we get to like go to some places and do some content there. But so it is this interesting time. Do you want to kind of hit this last topic before we wrap up, or just go into our wrap up? Just being mindful of time.
What is this one? Let's see. Give us our title. Universal Travel Reward Cards gain momentum. New reward cards work across multiple travel brands, hotels, flights, and car rentals. Yeah, I think we talk about this a lot, is getting rewarded for all the travel that we do.
Totally.
Whether it's our credit cards, whether it's the hotel reward programs. We talked about Wyndham, I think, our last show. That's like teaming up with different things and doing unique things. So it's having that lifestyle of getting rewarded for what you're doing. And a lot of money to be made on those card sides for having people signed up.
Totally. And banks are kind of seeing this sort of pressure for more flexibility for the easy point redemption, because it's like, I have Amex, but it's like, my Amex points don't transfer to this airline or to this hotel brand, but I have Chase and that does. So I think, a lot of these credit cards and these banks are going to be trying to be a little bit more flexible as far as how you can use their points. So
yeah, I feel like I need that as a tool. That's a new AI tool. Like, here's my cards. Here's how many points I have on each. Help me out here. Where do I go? I just put it out there. Who's creating it? We got Sarah and I on the board.
Oh, yes, please.
And I see Christelle. Look, she just hit what we're doing. So Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks for the 4th of July weekend. You see, traveling 4th of July, nature. Christelle, you just pulled our, point, did our point there for us.
Yeah.
I was excited for you. Those sound like an amazing place to visit on the holidays. So send us some pictures
definitely
on LinkedIn. Make sure to tag us. We would love to see what it looks like when you get out there.
I love that. Okay, let's go to our real-time recap. What have you seen out there in the streets of hospitality?
On the streets. Well, I've been going to South Beach a lot lately, and it's funny because there's an area on South Beach where I'm saying to the actual beach now. South Point Park. And, for a while, it was just like heavily tourist area and high schoolers causing a lot of drama, but they've tightened up in there. And there's a little window, like you walk up to and they have snacks and things. But this guy in there, I've been there 2 weekends this month, is the nicest guy. I'm going to find out his name next time, but my daughter and son said it's the best hot dogs they ever had out of this little window, that this guy is ultra nice every time with ice cream and hot dogs, but it just makes your day. Like, now I want to go see him because I feel like, all right, I got this guy who's going to help us have a great day on the beach
and have a memory.
It's awesome. So if you're in South Point Park, I don't know the name of the gentleman, but he has his snack shop window right there. Go say hello to him. Fantastic snacks. And there's these new popsicles that are all like natural and healthy and just like actual frozen fruits. Excellent. Go get them.
Love that. Okay. Well, sign me up. I'm due for a trip to Miami soon.
Yep.
Got to check it out. Okay. So my real-time recap, I try to keep it positive on here. I think we know that. But I'm going to keep it real with you. Ooh. So we all know that I am Delta through and through. Well, lately I have had some brands that have insisted on not flying me to destinations on my favorite or preferred airline. And so I flew United. Well, United has this cool program that's called Status Match. So I was like, okay, well, let's give United a try, but let them do a status match. And I can see what it's like to be at the highest level of status with United. Guys, I'm saying this and I'm putting it out there, and I do not like to say this. I am highly disappointed. It is like night and day. We're talking about store brand version of what an airline should be. I mean, I'm strong words. It really is. I'm like, what is happening? I mean, at least Southwest, you know what you're getting. I love JetBlue. Alaska's fantastic. But as far as like a legacy airline, you cannot compare, which is fascinating because the pilots all have this fun personality at United, where the pilots at Delta are a little bit like they're sleepy, but they get you there. But the service, like every time I interacted with somebody at Delta, whether highest status or even just the lowest status, they'll always be like, oh, thank you for your silver status. Thank you for your diamond status. United, First of all, one snack option, like you want a snack or not, they're tossing snacks like down the aisle, like it's like kindergarten room, and they're trying. Now, granted, like I don't know, I have not been impressed. It's yeah. I have 4 more flights. You're smiling. I have 4 more flights with them, and yeah, we'll see. I will give them a little bit more time to see if they will change their tune, or maybe it's a different city, but I have not been impressed so far. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Come at me. I don't care. My experience.
United. I did not say anything.
I never talk like this about any sort of brand, but wow.
Lou,
I mean, and
you already influenced Lou. He's canceling his United flight.
Dude, I can't. Also, they're canceling. I mean, yeah, whatever. Their track record, they're on time. Like, no. Anyway, so that's that. So that's my 2 cents on that. Why don't we move on to our hospitality quote segment? Oh no! Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Fired. All right, hospitality quote of the week, and I like this one because hospitality is making others feel at home, even if you wish you were. And I think that's so true because, like, there's times when you're in a trip. Like I was on a business trip and I was ready to go home, but the hotel was very nice. Everyone was very nice there, and we're thoughtful, and it makes it go a long way. But there's sometimes you've been on trips where you're just like, I'm ready to go, and this place is terrible. No one's nice here. I don't feel at home here. I want to get out of here. And
like on the United airplane. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. It could be any place, right? Whether it's a restaurant or a plane, a train, whatever it might be. And David saying, love that quote. Another great show. Thanks for watching, little bro. So that's what I like, because it hit me when I was in Indianapolis. Again, very nice people.
Yeah.
This wasn't my favorite city, right? And I was ready to get out of there, but everyone was very nice and doing their thing. And Paul saying Sarah Pulling from the Monday show doing her best brandy rant. Oh,
by the way, brandy. If you guys know me and you have followed me, and I have been posting on social media since 2012, so that's a long time, I have never gone on a rant about a brand. And by the way, I'm also open to changing my mind. So if they want to show me, if they want to show me, go for it. But like when it comes down to customer service, like guys, we are in the hospitality business. Like just a little bit of graciousness. I'm not even looking for VIP treatment, just graciousness. Yeah. But holiday travel.
I've been on American Airlines has been very good to me. I'm out of Miami, so they've been very good. I'll take it.
Yeah. So there we go. But yes, I love that. So, I mean, again, it's making sure that you feel at home. And especially right now, I'll actually just say one other thing. If you are traveling, just as a reminder, just build an extra buffer time for all of your travels. Traffic to airports are high and heavy, going through TSA. You've got people that they're doing their summer travel. They've got strollers. They've got kids. They've got, formula. You've got older people that are finally like doing some of their last trips that they get to do, and they're in wheelchairs. So pack your patience. It is amateur hour out there, but I mean that in the nicest way, is that it's like people are taking advantage of this time. So build in that buffer room because, just things are taking longer than expected.
That's true. I see Adam here. Can't believe I'm watching the number 2 hospitality influencer. You are.
Oh, gosh.
Sarah Dandishi, number 2.
Adam. Oh, thank you, Adam. By the way, Adam is a former concierge like I am. In fact, he was up for the same concierge award that I ended up winning. He was up for that award a couple years before I won. So I'll just leave it at that. But yes,
winner.
Chicken dinner.
All right. Well, Sarah, another amazing show. I'm glad that we're back doing this. Next week, I think I'll be able to do the live show from where I am. So I will set that up. But
I think you should.
Until next week, everybody. What do we say?
Stay hospitable.
Bye.
Bye.